I decided to lay in my bed to do this video because we're talking about the inner child. There is a really big emphasis right now on the inner child. We're seeing it through different forms of media. A lot of people are talking about their childhood experiences and they're talking about their inner child and some of the damaging moments that's happened in childhood, but also some of the bright core memories that we have as well. So these are all a part of the childhood experience. And as you all know, our childhood experiences are just so detrimental to the people who we become, right? The people who raise you, the experience you have, impacts that are made in our childhood linger on into our adulthood. But I wanted to give you the definition of inner child. The term inner child is often used to describe the connection you have within yourself to your child self and your childhood memories. The inner child is an individual's childlike aspect. It includes what a person learned as a child before puberty. The inner child is often conceived as a semi-independent subpersonality, subordinate to the waking conscious mind. The term has therapeutic applications in counseling and health settings. So that's kind of what we're referring to when we talk about the inner child and healing the inner child, okay? So why do I believe inner child healing or inner child awareness and integration is necessary? I think that having an unconscious inner child, I wrote notes on my thoughts, but I think having the inner child unconscious can lead to one, the repeating of patterns that may have been shown to us in childhood, again, that we can now recognize as not ideal or not great. Children pick up on and absorb a lot of information at their young age. So when you think about it, there's so much that could be just subconsciously ingrained in us. And now we make the acknowledgement like, oh, this is not something I want to continue. But we could see the patterns that have subconsciously grown through us just by absorbing, just by watching interactions with adults. That's when the programming starts. It's like you think that this is how adults are. So you start absorbing that information, taking it in. And then it creates this almost character for what you would be as an adult. Also, I think our inner child wounding is why a lot of relationships don't work. I think our inner child and like the mindset and mental space that we are in can be at the forefront of relationships. That's where we can really see the unconscious inner child show up. An unconscious inner child can show up as guilt, shame, and rejection, the feeling of rejection, the inability to speak up. It could also show up as just feeling like really small, feeling like you can't be big. Maybe you're told to be quiet a lot, or you're too loud, you're too this. There's just many different characteristics of a wounded inner child. Okay, so like my inner child is something that I just desire so strongly to embody. Like, she did not care about anything. Like, I don't mean that in a negative way, because like I think I was caring. I think that I still like showed love to people, but I like was very blunt, upfront. I spoke out of turn a lot. Like, it didn't matter if it came to my head, I was saying it. And oftentimes I got in trouble for it. But I also like would wear whatever. I didn't care. Like, I literally did not care. But then I felt the switch. Like, I felt the switch when I started just getting so insecure and like scared of everything and like not talking, and then feeling like I'm invisible, like all this weird stuff. Like, I felt that switch happen where I was no longer like present. I was no longer experiencing any joyous parts of life. Like, that was like in middle school or something. And that lasted a very long time. It lasted a very long time until I decided to, read some stuff on the shadow and how the shadow aspect of ourselves formed in childhood. Inner child and shadow wounding healing can occur simultaneously, because at the same time that you're unpacking childhood experiences, you're healing the inner child, but also unpacking the shadow. Navigating these topics can be difficult at times, but I don't know how to explain it, but we have the tools that we need. Like, it's like, I hear it all the time, right? I hear like other people talk about it, that we have the tools that we need to, heal and to navigate through tough processes. It can't be wrong if it's something that you're creating with the intention of healing, with the intention of loving, forgiving. Like, you create for you. You make magic the way that you need and want to make magic. It is for you. It is for us, and it is for us to use, in our experiences. But also, if you need to speak to somebody, speak to somebody, because things come up. Things come up about your childhood, and you're like, what happened? What did that? What happened there? So many of us feel left behind, or smaller, or like we don't shine as bright as others. And that could be from a wounded inner child. But also, I think it's because when we don't integrate that child-like curiosity and the childlike joy and innocence, we can feel like all we are just potential, or like I'll never reach. But when you're a kid, it's like every week you could be anything. Like, where's that energy? Like, yes, we've got stuff to do as adults, we've got responsibility, but that energy of I could do and I can be anything is what's missing from like all of us. Like me too. Like, I really can get like doubtful on the life and whatever at sometimes, and I'm like, what is happening? Why are you doing this, girl? You could literally be whatever. And I think that's also because, a lot of us, when we're as kids, we're so connected to spirit. I think we still have this acknowledgement or this knowing. We're connected to our knowing, as children. We're connected to the fact that none of this matters in a way, none of this is real in a way, you know what I mean? So we're so connected to that youth that, we just envision ourselves in like the highest, most amazing, these amazing feats, this high concept of ourselves as children. Oh my gosh. To be a child and to think of yourself as a star. Y'all, I did talent shows. I would get up on the stage and dance and do a dance that I literally came up with in like 3 minutes, doing the same moves 40 times. Like, what? I did that on stage. I did by myself, solo talent show, chewing gum on stage. Like, I did that. Didn't think twice about it. I was that girl in my jazz shoes walking around in the elementary school, thinking I was the stuff. You could not tell me anything. I'm in jazz shoes. Like, what? I thought I was a star. And I wanted to be a star. Like, this is so silly. But, like, it was just a different time. So, let me tell you. Oh, I think I was going to save that for a different video with how I connect to my inner child. I would look up inner child healing, inner child wounds, inner child healing. There's so many videos on YouTube. you can find something that connects with you and use it. Use that practice. I love tarot. I read tarot. Tarot really helped me with many things. And so watch my videos. An inner child tarot reading is coming soon after this. But yeah, this is my video. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Okay, and you can follow me on Instagram at Beyond Quartz or Valoe. I'm not sure. Or Etheric Elemental. You can follow me on Instagram. You can book a reading with me at thebeyondquartz.com. Let's do some inner child healing together. Let's talk to the inner child. Let's do whatever we want. But yeah, this is gonna be it. It's time to go. Goodbye.